Well, one of the many legal issues facing former President Trump goes before the Supreme Court this week. Tomorrow, the justices will hear arguments over whether individual states can remove Trump from the 2024 ballot.
Yeah, it has to do with his role in the January 6th attack on the Capitol. The CBN News White House correspondent Abigail Robertson is at the Supreme Court this evening and joins us with a preview of tomorrow's arguments. Abigail?
Well, this landmark case largely hinges on how the word insurrection is defined, if January 6th fits that definition, and whether or not the justices rule that Trump played a major part.
Even though President Trump didn't engage in that behavior directly, they might argue that he encouraged it and therefore would be part of the process of insurrection.
In December, the Colorado State Supreme Court disqualified Trump from holding the office of president under Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, asserting he's ineligible because he engaged in insurrection on January 6, 2021, after swearing an oath as president to support the U.S. Constitution.
The Constitution uses the word officer, but it doesn't define president necessarily as one of those officers. It lists other officers clearly, but it doesn't say the presidency's included. So there's going to be some question about whether or not it actually includes the President of the United States.
In their opening brief to the court, Trump's lawyers called for a reversal of Colorado's decision because the president is not an officer of the United States under the Constitution.
The Supreme Court in the past has said that officers of the United States refers to people who are appointed by the president, but not the president himself. Therefore, the president is not one of the people that is covered by that clause, that section of the 14th Amendment.
Trump's lawyers are also calling for a swift and decisive end to these ballot disqualification efforts, which threaten to disenfranchise tens of millions of Americans and which promise to unleash chaos and bedlam. John Malcolm from the Heritage Foundation tells CBN News he expects a quick ruling.
If they affirm the Colorado Supreme Court, then he will be off the ballot everywhere. And of course, if they reverse the Colorado Supreme Court, he will be on the ballot everywhere.
The Supreme Court has received hundreds of pages of documents in support of Trump's appeal from people including almost 200 congressional Republicans and several of Trump's former 2024 GOP rivals. John, Jenna.
Abby, today, Democratic Senator Dick Durbin called on Justice Clarence Thomas to recuse himself from tomorrow's case. What's that all about?
This is related to the fact that Ginny Thomas, Justice Thomas's wife, has testified before the January 6th committee because she exchanged text messages with Mark Meadows, Trump's former chief of staff, regarding efforts to overturn the 2020 election. Now, Justice Thomas has previously recused himself from Supreme Court cases involving January 6th, so Senator Durbin is calling him to do so again. And I will just say here at the Supreme Court, there's already a line of people waiting to get into tomorrow's arguments. They're going to be a very big deal, and I imagine there are going to be hundreds of people out here tomorrow at 10 a.m. when the Supreme Court hears this case.